Nobody, no crime. Well, not on my time. Eyes are watching, giving victims a voice. Raise your voice from Delphi to Camden, and there will be no more botching. We might not be Dateline, but come along if you want a great time. Grab yourself a glass of wine, and let's talk some true crime. And hey, you'll even have an alibi if you collect evidence in red Solo cups. If your expert says it just did, you might have a problem. We might not be Dateline, but come along if you want a great time. Grab yourself a glass of wine, and let's talk some true crime. And hey, you'll even have an
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I know we are all very invested in the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. I had all the intentions of sharing a screen and everything, and then when I went to go look at how to do it, for some reason, I sent it to my email, the document that I wanted to go over, and I have yet to receive it, so I don't know. So I might just be reading it from my phone. And anyways, we'll get there. We'll get there. Eventually, I will learn all the YouTube things, and we will look like we actually know what we're doing here. But right now, it's not quite the case. Hello, everyone. Okay. Oh, look, Laura from the Pascal Show. You are new here. Hello and welcome. Thank you for being here. I am also new here. So we are learning as we go all the YouTube functions that I have yet to master. Hi, Sue. Hi, Tammy. Let's see who else is here. All right. Good to see everyone. Darcy, hello. All right. So I know some of you are watching the Baker stream from earlier, which was really fun. I love going on and doing stuff with Baker, and just getting everyone's different really opinions on the case, because sometimes like we think something, but yet kind of hashing it out with other people, you get to kind of think of things that maybe you didn't think about yourself. And you are too kind. Thank you so much. Oh, hello from Montreal. Thank you for joining us. I have family in Montreal, so that is awesome. Yes, we love Baker. Thank you so much. So anyways, I wanted to talk a little bit about the videos that dropped. It was quite the week for Kelsey Fitzsimmons, and I know a lot of you were like me, kind of saw through the BS that Justin and his family and team were trying to spew. But we knew the truth would eventually come out, and it is started to come out, and the tides are turning. Things are looking up for her in every sense of the word. So we can't be happier to hear that. And I know this week, if you were like me, I didn't go very far from my phone because things were constantly happening. Oh, thank you, Deborah. So things are constantly happening. We got the videos coming out, which were, again, a picture is worth 1,000 words, whatever it is, right? Like you can't defute a picture, and much less a video. So we had the break-in first, which was maddening, and then we had all these videos of him smoking something. So these are huge, and Timely Manner is bringing out that the judge in the hearing this week was a breath of fresh air. He absolutely was. We were due a good judge. Um, we've seen quite a few in the cases that we followed that were quite, they leave us wondering. They leave us kind of questioning the system a little bit. So this judge, Judge Karp, he had questions, intellectual questions, which was really refreshing to see a judge just wanting to know things to know them, which, in my opinion, a judge should do. So he was great to watch, and yes, we were very thankful that he allowed her to move into her new home like an adult. You're talking about a woman who, sorry, my cat has decided that he's going to attack the lighting up here. Um, you're talking about a woman who has worked her butt off like her entire adult life. She bought a home at 26 years old, was working 80-hour weeks to get where she was today with owning her own home at 26, that's a huge accomplishment right there. I don't think a lot of us know a lot of adults who own their own home at 26 years old. So she was a hard worker. She is a hard worker, and she's used to living on her own. So I'm very, very happy that she gets to go back and have a bit of privacy, and she's gonna eventually have her baby with her and have her life start getting back to a new sense of normalcy. Um, yes, we are all sending very good thoughts for her to be reunited with her baby very soon. It was wonderful to see her smiling. That's one of the pictures in the thumbnail because we haven't seen that. And really, she hasn't had a whole lot to smile about. But that changed. That changed on Thursday when the judge kind of agreed to change the orders and give her a hope of seeing her child and start that process, which Judge McCarthy Naiman had squashed and made it impossible for her to not even see her son, which is disgusting in its own right. That she would take matters into her own hands and take everything away from the power of the family court, which handles these things. So, oh, yes, Baker is hello, Baker. Thank you so much. Yes. And also do the same to Baker, Broken Baker. Um, so it was wonderful. Yeah, it was wonderful to see her smiling. Um, Darcy, I'm not going to put up the area that she's moving in because, she already doesn't have any privacy with all of this out there. And so any sense of privacy that she can have, I think she not only deserves, but all of us would, deserve that as well. Plus, let's be honest, Justin and his family are not quite stable, in my opinion. So I don't want them knowing anything about anything. Eventually they will, I'm sure. But, um, people saying hello to Baker. Um, Police and firemen should be held to a higher standard. Absolutely. Yet they think the laws don't apply to them. Yeah. And listen, the town's police have pretty much said that. The DA has pretty much said that they're not going to charge them. So I guess why would they think any otherwise, that they'd have to be held to any kind of standard against the laws. I mean, it's really disgusting. Really, really disgusting. Um, let's see. Oh, thank you very much, Timing Manor. Um, Getting more Baker love. We all love Baker. And hopefully he will be on for a little bit. Tomorrow is Mazza's fundraiser for Kelsey Fitzsimmons. I will be there as well as I know a few other guests, and I think Baker may be trying to drop by before he has to go to sleep. He's always so kind in doing so. He's on a totally different time frame that we are. So he is willing to stay up late and you know talk about the cases that also he is passionate about. So we always appreciate that. Yeah, this is a great point. He's no role model for his young son. He's not even a role model for anyone. I mean, my goodness, you're 31 years old and this is what you're doing. And I was able to like find out, like the firefighters up there from where I am, they make a lot better money up in Boston area than they do where I'm at here in Florida. And he has what to show for it? Nothing. I mean, literally nothing. So, where's that money going? And I think it makes a lot more sense of where it possibly could be going after we have found out some more of those details from affidavits and videos dropping. It's concerning. It's concerning on a lot of levels. But I think it is so hypocritical for him and his family to be trying to portray and spin this narrative about Kelsey that she is some alcoholic because she was drinking on her bachelorette trip. Which, by the way, Justin, you were drinking too. Everyone was pretty much drinking. It's a bachelorette party. Like, that is not abnormal. So I think it is just gross for them to try to spin this narrative that she's some alcoholic, some dangerous, crazy person that needs to be away from her son. When turns out the finger should be pointed at you, buddy. Like, and I find that so true, not in just this case, but just in life experiences with things that I've seen on my job. It's usually the ones that are pointing the finger, accusing other people of certain specific things that it's really a projection of what's going on with them. And I think we have seen that and have a lot more to go on now that makes that sense. Yeah, Laura, look, I you're not wrong in my opinion at all. There is a whole lot of a whole lot of men um out there, and I think it is growing that that are that don't have a place to their name, don't have anything to their name, and they literally date women to have a place to stay. And those of you who don't know what that is, that's basically it. They don't have anything to their name. They will get in relationships so that they have a nice home, can basically mooch is basically what that is. So I mean, everything that we're seeing is pointing in that direction. This was something that I thought before all this came out, but I think everything that we're seeing now kind of backs that up, in my opinion. All right, let's see. I love you guys having points and being able to talk with you guys about what your thoughts are too, because this is not just my outrage. This is everyone's outrage, and I love when everyone is speaking up about it. Yeah, why sneak to smoke unless something you shouldn't be smoking? Hello, what a bad look. Yeah, exactly. And look, addicts have a innate sense like ability to hide the fact that they're addicts for a while. Um, and so it would not surprise me at all if this was how he was and sneaking and doing things for a while until he couldn't and it kind of came out. But um, I don't know what he was smoking. I don't think we can any of us can say for a fact, but I'll tell you just from my personal opinion of having seen people smoke pot a million times. Some of those videos to me look a lot they look sus, okay? Like, you're not doing some of the things you're doing if you're smoking pot, in my opinion. Now, I don't know what was he smoking? I don't know. But would I be shocked if it wasn't pot? Absolutely not. Um, his actions in those videos are concerning and alarming on a lot of levels, and I'll just leave it there. But you know, what we're gonna go over today, the affidavit that Kelsey wrote about his actions and things that she saw firsthand. Um, yeah. Yeah, and here's my concern too, is that he has a license to carry a firearm. Now, Um, that is concerning to me, for a lot of reasons. Now we don't know what he's on. We do know that he is kind of coming out of alcohol withdrawals when he's trying to drink the cooking wine in the firehouse. That's a problem. Like, you might have a problem when dot 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 you're drinking cooking wine in the firehouse. If that is true, I'm sorry, but I don't want a gun on his hip anywhere that I am. Or any of my family members, my friends. Like, I don't feel that that person needs to be carrying a weapon. Don't know how you guys feel about it, and I am all for having weapons to protect yourself, but responsibly. And severe I have major concerns, grave concerns about him having a weapon in the state that he is, being seen on video, doing. I just do. Yeah. Yes, and this is what is so interesting, timely manner. Justin underestimated the support that Kelsey would have. Absolutely. Because they were trying to get ahead of the situation. They were spinning their narrative, and Kelsey couldn't speak, right? She's on trial. They were trying to get her for attempted murder, which you're really not going to talk at that point. So her story was never able to really get out there because she wasn't able to speak. And fortunately, a lot of us saw through that BS. And now that all these videos are out there, it's starting to get traction in actual mainstream media. I'm seeing things on Facebook, Instagram, of actual big mainstream media up there covering it finally. So let's see here. Yeah, it is with pay. Yep, leave with pay and just a vacation. Yes, I know there's a process, and this is the first step. Now Justin is the only one living with his parents. Well, him and the rest of his siblings, so they all live there, which again doesn't say much for the family, right? When you have every single one of your adult siblings living with you still, like every single one of them, what are we doing here? Like, cut the cord. What is happening? He had a decent job. He was making good money as a firefighter up there. You make decent money, but he's still living with mommy and daddy, and apparently his brothers and sisters are as well. So yeah, this was something that Kelsey needed. She's used to living on her own, being an independent woman, and so I'm so happy that she will get the chance to go and get that sense of normalcy back after this horrific nightmare of a year that she's had. Um, let's see here. Oop, what is this? I missed this. Yep, I heard that drinking cooking wine sounds desperate to me. That is, yeah, if it doesn't sound desperate, I don't know what it sounds. It sounds crazy. Um, yep, let's see. Yes, yeah, so they all live there. Yeah, so I makes a little more sense why he was trying so hard to get, like, the profits from her house. I'm sure he doesn't, well, I don't know, I don't speak for him. Maybe he does love living there like a child still. I have no idea, but yeah, they all live there. It's crazy. But remember, they're all scared, so scared that they need patrols to drive by their home multiple times a day, even though they're all, um living there together, can protect themselves and all this. What a joke. But this is all to spin their narrative. They needed things in writing so that, in the court proceeding, they could be like, look how scared we are. We had to text and ask for all this help because we were just so scared. Meanwhile, there's literally zero things that should have made them scared. So, like, where is the fear coming from? Their heads. They're crazy. They're not right, in my opinion. So, it's all a fake narrative. And this is not the first case that I've seen where people try to do this. And it's gross. Like, it's just gross. You can see right through it. Yeah, he's got the free childcare. Um, grandma's handling it all. Um, yeah, what more could he ask for? Um, That's okay, Jess. Just happy you are here. Have a good rest of your day at work, and I hope it goes by fast. Yes, very odd family behavior. And, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, which is a little scary. Those alien parents, I got questions. Yeah, not right with their kids' age. Yeah, absolutely. And then Leah coming in with some things here. Let's see. In 2023, he was employed at the town of North Andover and had an annual salary of 88. That's right, according to public records. Yes. So not a bad salary, where what do you have to show for it? I don't think we know anything that he has to show for it, I don't know. But again, that's part of showing the court that you have an ability to take care of your child. So if you're still living at mommy and daddy's house and you have nothing in your name, that's a problem. So they needed all of these narratives to be spun in a certain direction. They also needed Kelsey to continue to live at her parents' house because that put them on an equal footing, at least on that, right? They didn't want her to be able to get out and be like, oh, yeah, to the court. I got my own place. Caden's got his own room. We're ready to go. That was something they didn't want. They needed her at her parents. And this new judge thankfully allowed her to be an adult and move out. So that's really going to be wonderful in her family court situation that's coming up in April. Um, and it's going to look very good to the judge that despite all of this stuff that she's currently dealing with, that she already has her own place. So, yeah, let's see here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of money, but it is enough to make a living for yourself, to not be living at your parents' house. Down here, I don't even tell you what firefighters make. Way less than that. So, obviously the cost of living up there is more, so it kind of balances out, but still it's enough to for him to be out of mommy and daddy's house. So, he takes the easy way out. Absolutely. He comes off lazy, doesn't he? What is he trying to do? You have Kelsey out here working, trying to provide for her family. He moves in with her in a house that she has on her complete, own. And what does he offer to the situation? So, yeah, it is it is a scary situation. Just very fortunate that they didn't get married and things ended when they did. Welcome, Jazzy Mom. So I have been streaming it on X, but Baker was so kind to share like some of his knowledge. So we're trying not streaming it on X to kind of bring people over to YouTube to get more of the views because I think a lot of my views are coming from X. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes today. If we have more people actually hopping on or on YouTube to watch, then that will help me get my views up. And we'll try it that way. So that's how we're doing it today. But it's really nice to have a lot of you here. Baker saying not paying for college and bumming drug money from his girlfriend seems like he is 16 and must have something special for her to accept man-child. Yeah, and it's like when did he grow up? He never did, it seems. And it seems like mommy and daddy covered for everything that he did, and he just has this sense of, no accountability for any of his actions, and he's entitled to everything. So it's a real problem. Um, Yep. Let's see. Sue, I completely agree with you. She will get custody after this. The judge sees all these type of cases all the time in their courtroom, and they're going to be able to see through this and not even see through it. I would venture to say that everything is really spelled out at this point. We haven't even seen all of the evidence that they have, and it's already pretty damning for Justin, right? Not the best week for the Alyaians at all. Justin is scuzz, in my opinion. Absolutely, in my opinion as well, Sue. And it is the parents' fault. It's called enabling, in my opinion. You are right. Yeah, Darcy, he is acting 18. He's a grown ass man acting 18. Like the Peter Pan syndrome. Yep, absolutely. Um, let's see. How old did it work when she was in the hospital? Didn't stop him. Yeah, I know. It's disgusting. It's very very disgusting, and yet he couldn't even go to Target and buy a few outfits for his son or a few things that supposedly he needed for his son. That was what he was trying to spew the narrative, "Oh, I gotta get in the house to get my son's belongings." No, you gotta spend your money. You might have to actually open your wallet, Justin. I know you're not used to that, but you open it, like this, and you go in and you take your card out and you swipe it, and it's called being a father. So you get a few items that your son is gonna need for the next week or 2 until you can arrange that through the court and through the lawyers for you to actually enter the home in a lawful manner. So, yeah, he's something else. Um, yeah, absolutely, he is no man. Um, let's see here. Yeah. So since I cannot figure out why this isn't, let me check one more time if it came up on my email. I emailed it to myself. However, it is not there. Let me check and make sure it didn't come through while we were chatting. And then I will try to share the screen. It has not. Okay. Well, for the sake of time purposes and not looking extra crazy like I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just going to read it from my phone. It's not a very long one. This is just the allegations that Kelsey puts in her affidavit. And let's see. This is a question I have not heard. Let me hold on. Let me find this real fast. Mm, Becky, when he broke in, why didn't he take any breast milk? Becky, I have not heard anyone ask that, but certainly a father who was trying to think of his son would probably get some breast milk, and most moms I know have it some frozen, a supply frozen maybe. That's an excellent point. I haven't heard anyone say that, but I think, that says a lot about the type of person you are, like a probably very caring, thoughtful person that you even thought of that. But yeah, that was definitely not his concern. Um, this is why we do these things. Like, I love hearing from you guys. That's something I hadn't thought of. Like, yeah, I know a loving mom who realizes how precious that milk is, right? They're gonna be like, get the milk. So, again, great point. Okay, let's see here. All right. So it says Kelsey Fitzsimmons hereby depose and understate under oath. I, the defendant in the above captioned matter, and the mother of Caden D. Alyaian, gives his date of birth. And then 2, plaintiff Justin Alyaian, Justin, the father of the child. 3, Justin and I lived together at 125 Phillips Brook Road, North Andover, Mass. Between March 2024 and June 27th, 2025. I owned that home solely and individually. So it's her home. His name is not on it. He has no rights to it. Justin and I lived together at 125 Phillips Brook Road, North Andover, Mass. Between March 2024 and June 27th, 25. Oh, I just read that. Okay, we are just doubling down on the fact that it is her home. Okay. I sold the home located at 125 Phillips Brook Road, North Andover, Mass. On November 7th, 2025. I have been our son's primary caregiver from his birth until June 30th, 2025. That was when Justin stole the baby from her. When Justin served a 209A on me in my own home, I took maternity leave to care for our son immediately after his birth, made the appointments for his pediatric visits, attended the same, grocery shopped for our family, woke up with our son during the night, breastfed, clothed him, and ensured his safety. Not a single provider has had concerns about my attention or caregiving or safety of my son with me. That is very important, right? Because she obviously has seen doctors with her son, and then her own doctors, and not one of them has raised any concerns for her being able to care for her son. So that's big. On December 23rd, 2025, I was released on bail from Massachusetts Regional Women's Correctional Center, pending a criminal trial on a charge of 1 count of assault with a dangerous weapon in Essex Superior Court. And then it gives the court docket number. I do believe it is in Caden's best interest for Justin to have sole custody due to I do not believe it is in I do not believe that it is in Caden's best interest for Justin to have sole custody due to Justin's use and abuse of drugs and alcohol, and because I am a loving, competent mother who should be involved with the decisions of our son jointly. Okay, so all very reasonable things so far. And then we go on to number 9, which is I have witnessed Justin obtaining and snorting Adderall. In one such instance on Christmas Eve of 2024, it's not that long ago, at Justin's parents' house. Isn't that interesting? At his parents' house. Okay, let's see. When I was pregnant with Caden, Justin obtained Adderall from his cousin Michael. I saw Justin snort the Adderall through a straw in the bathroom that connects to the kitchen where I was standing. So that's one allegation of drug use. Then we go on to 10. Justin admitted to me that he obtains approximately 10 Adderall pills from his cousin Michael every time he sees him, which is approximately 5 times per year. Number 11, I am prescribed Ativan to treat my anxiety. On at least 15 occasions, Justin would take one of my prescription Ativan pills when he was hungover, as he believed it would alleviate the symptoms of his hangover. My question is, hungover from what, Justin? Like, that to me is very alarming. Okay. I witnessed Justin taking acid in the summer of 2024. Unbeknownst to me, Justin kept a tab of acid wrapped in tinfoil in our refrigerator for months. On that occasion in 2024, when Justin was not working, I witnessed Justin remove the tinfoil package from the fridge and put it in his mouth. Justin informed me that it was acid when I asked what he was doing. Okay. Let's just stop there for a minute. This is their shared refrigerator, right? He has acid wrapped in tinfoil in the same refrigerator that his baby's milk and bottles and the family food is in. I'm sorry, but that is a huge problem. Huge. And then he just puts it in his mouth. I mean, look, what is going on here? This is even weird behavior like for an addict. This is weird behavior. I have never in my life heard of storing acid in the fridge and just popping it in your mouth when you wanted to get high. That is odd. That is weird behavior. Okay. 13. I have witnessed Justin smoking marijuana, and I have recently come across video surveillance where he smoked marijuana at our home. I found over 100 such videos. And we know from Bradle in court at the hearing this week that it was even more than 100. And it was the fact that they received them and found them after the Commonwealth gave them back that surveillance, their surveillance footage that they had, and I guess taken after the shooting incident. So they discovered all of these videos then. All right. 14. Justin told me that he had taken hallucinogenic mushrooms with his brother Brendan in 2024. Brendan has a civil position in the Air Force, and he is randomly drug tested. As a result, Brendan does drugs with Justin at the beginning of their trips, usually last 2 weeks, when Brendan knows the drugs will be out of his system before his next test. Justin told mother, so Kelsey, Justin told Kelsey that he and Brendan microdosed after a getaway in the winter of 2024. So again, this specific one here, it seems like this is a plan. This is a well thought out plan. How can we get high and yet not get caught in our jobs, right? So we'll just do it at the beginning of the trip and then it'll be all gone by the time we get back. Again, if you're planning your vacation around drug use, you may have a problem. Number 15, Justin is a frequent customer at the Mellow Dispensary in Haverhill. Shout out. Massachusetts, even though Justin is not permitted to use marijuana products in any form due to his job as a North Andover firefighter, Justin would often ask me for cash or to take money from the ATM so that there was no financial trail of him buying marijuana. At times, Justin would purchase marijuana from Mellow Dispensary while Mother and Caden were waiting in the car. So again, not just a 1 or 2 time situation. This was a very frequent happenings, sounds like here. Okay, number 16, Justin would frequently smoke marijuana in our home, in our house, and there was a plethora of marijuana paraphernalia, including but not limited to a grinder, a blunt, a pre-roll found in our basement. So it would make a lot of sense that those were some of the items that he was trying to go for when he was breaking in that day. All right. Number 17. Justin would typically purchase pre-rolls from Mellow Dispensary on Thursdays because the dispensary has a Thursday only deal on said pre-rolls. Justin would also purchase 1/8 of an ounce to grind and use in a bowl. Number 18. I also have serious concerns that Justin is an alcoholic. I have witnessed Justin drinking alcohol almost every night during our relationship, with his beverage of choice being 1 or 2 Tall Boy Voodoo Ranger beers, which is 19 ounces with a 9.5% alcohol, and 1 or 2 nips of Jack Daniels and / or root beer flavored McGillicuddy. On other instances, Justin would drink a whole bottle of wine I would obtain at my mother's house after Sunday dinner, which we had weekly. Number 19. During Christmas of 2024, both my father and my stepfather gifted Justin bottles of whiskey. Both bottles were gone in less than 2 weeks. I recall this because my father came over during that time and asked Justin to share a glass of his whiskey he had gifted. But Justin informed my father that the whiskey was gone. Number 20. I have witnessed Justin's hand shaking on numerous occasions. Justin has told me his hands also shake at work, which he attributes to alcohol withdrawal. As a result, Justin has told me that he often needs to drink the cooking wine at the firehouse in order to stop the shaking. Yeah, that is terrifying. While I was pregnant with Caden, Justin would drink to excess at every family event or get together we attended, including at our joint bachelorette event in Maine, June 2025. At that event, Justin was intoxicated and kept drinking after I went upstairs to sleep. He refused to sleep to keep partying. We got into an argument stemming from Justin wanting to do more drugs. I left the house later to go home without him. Doesn't that make more sense now, knowing what we know? Yeah, I'd probably be pissed too. 22. On Mother's Day 2025, I took a video of Justin screaming at me while he was drunk. During the course of that day, as a result of his excessive drinking, Justin fell in the shower, in the bedroom, and while walking up the stairs. And then it says signed under the pains of perjury and has her signature. So her first Mother's Day as a mother, he also stole from her as well. by yelling at her, obviously being verbally abusive, which sounds like is what is going on, in my opinion. So, I mean, what hasn't this man taken from her? He has literally taken everything from her. And here she is, still standing, still fighting for her child. And now the world is getting to hear the truth, not just one-sided accusations that are self-serving. We are getting to hear the whole story. Um, yeah, and Leah Baker saying Kelsey should have never been denied contact. Judge Kathleen McCarthy Naaman, Alyaian family, now with the proof of the text and bar height that they were influencing decisions. Absolutely. It's disgusting. Am I question, am I lagging? Is the video lagging for you guys? Because on my end, it's lagging pretty bad, but I want to make sure it's not for you guys. Sue saying, yep, a punk. I heard North Andover fire. Comments are blowing up. He should be fired. Yeah, he absolutely should be fired. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Steve Miller. I love jewelry. I am a jewelry girly. Let's see here. Yes, go Kelsey, go. Thank you, Laura. Yes, everyone, if you could hit the like button or subscribe if you were not subscribed, it definitely helps me out. Let's see. This is such a good question. The freezer is usually extra. Yeah, full of extra. Yeah, exactly. So if he was so concerned with anything, and also just on a let's get to Justin, right? Oh, okay. Well, my cat just knocked down my modem and everything else. So let's go on Justin's level for a minute, right? Just knowing what we know about him. Probably not thinking about the baby much, right? But what is he thinking about? Himself. He's very money motivated. So money, money, money. What would be another benefit from getting the milk out of the fridge or the freezer if it was there for yourself? Well, to help your pocketbook, to limit your expenditures, you're going to have to now buy formula because you don't have mom's milk. So again, he just was thinking about getting certain items like her computer, her laptop, her iPad, her passport, all of these things where he could get the big money, right? It's really disgusting. In no way, shape, or form is he ever thinking of that child. And what's gross is that I know any mother knows this. If there was baby, milk in the freezer, in the fridge, it all went bad. And if you have ever tried to produce milk and that stuff is like that is like the holy grail. You don't want any to drip out. You don't want any to drop. That is like so if that's the case and it all got wasted, that pisses me off for Kelsey too. Okay, Baker saying, "Yep, the baby isn't screaming dad of the year." Yes, that's right. I mean, it's just it's appalling. It's gross. Yeah, his parents are probably buying formula for the baby. Yeah, well, let's hope. I mean, we know Justin isn't doing it. Let's see. All right. Yeah, he will definitely be the father who does not pay child support. And might I submit to you that that was probably one of his reasons for this order. If he could prove or try and prove and spin the narrative that Kelsey is some insane person who is a danger and doesn't need to have custody, well, then guess what? He's not having to pay child support to her. That would make a lot of sense to me. Do with that what you will, but that makes a whole lot of sense to me. Let's see here. Yep, if the baby is excessively breastfeeding and switch to the bottle formula, it would be absolutely miserable. Yeah, it's just awful, as if that baby hasn't and wasn't dealing with all of the other changes that he was dealing. Is horrible. Did he leave with any baby items at all? That is a great question. I don't know. And I don't know what will, be recovered in those video surveillance images, because remember when he went down there, he ripped the whole thing apart. So I don't know if they'll have that at trial, but it wouldn't shock me if we actually did see some things that he didn't think we were going to see. Um, I'm going to venture to bet he didn't take much baby stuff, but that's just my guess. Yes, that's a great point. Thank you for mentioning this, Karma, because I linked the Kelsey's Gifts and Go um, at the top of the chat. It's pinned at the top of the chat. If any of you are in a position who would like to support Kelsey, whether it's $5, whether it's $20, whether it's $50, all of that adds up, and it goes to her being able to not only she's moving in a new home, so she needs new items for her child. When she had her baby, he was 4 months old. Those clothes don't fit anymore. The toys that she had, they are not, the appropriate age. They're not going to help him develop mentally and challenge him anymore. So she has to provide all these different things now that he's a new age. And um, she's been busy in jail. She's been busy trying to survive. So she hasn't had a chance to get all these items for him at this age. And well, we just got the word that she can even really fight for him to try to get him back now. So if any of you can do so, the link for the Gifts and Go is pinned at the top of the chat. No amount is too small and it all adds up. And Kelsey and her family are incredibly, incredibly thankful for all the love and support that you guys have given. And it means the absolute world to them. So thank you, Karma, for mentioning that. I pinned it there and I forgot to even mention it. So thank you so much. Um, yeah, absolutely. Kathy, this is a great point. Babies get their immune system from their mother's milk. It can help build that strong immune system. There's just all these things that it's a big pile on of what was taken from her and from that baby. Um, when there was absolutely no need for it. It was Justin's selfish behavior that brought all this on. So, uh, um, okay, this is here. I no longer feel badly for Kelsey any longer. I feel so much pride for her courage. And isn't that true? Because I'll tell you right now, the courage and the self-restraint that it took her to keep her mouth shut this time, like for all this time, knowing what she knew, I don't know that I could have done it. Um, I just have a lot of respect for her. She is pretty amazing and an absolute warrior. So let's see here. Yep, Darcy saying snorting Adderall is extremely dangerous. Yeah. Do not recommend, it's and again, if you're snorting Adderall like to get high, why? Like these are things you see in addicts that have a severe problem. This is not just the type of behavior you would see in like a casual weed smoker, for to take the edge off, to sleep, to, calm down from anxiety. Weed can do all of those things. And this type of behavior, snorting Adderall, having a freaking clump of acid in your fridge wrapped up, those are not normal behaviors for just someone who only partakes in some weed. That's not normal behaviors. That is on a totally different level of addict behavior, and it's very concerning. Let's see here. We can all agree that the sudden change for the baby caused unneeded stress. Absolutely. And it just didn't need to happen. Adderall is not allowed for firefighters. Darcy, I don't know that, but it makes perfect sense if that would be the case. But I'll tell you what's not allowed that I know of is weed or even cigarettes for that matter, but definitely weed. So, you know, it's frustrating to me that the whole video of him breaking and entering, then all of the proof of the sites that he was on, what he accessed, the passwords that he changed, all of that in the fire department's like, nah, we're good, not going to do anything. DA's like, nah, we're good, not charging you. And pretty much the North Andover Fire Department, their hand was forced that they needed to suspend him under, pending further investigation. They didn't do that because that's the right thing to do. They did that because they knew they had to do that. And I say that for a lot of reasons, but one reason being, where's the other guy that works there? That was it, Kevin Schmidt, something that I can't pronounce. Why hasn't he been suspended? Pending further investigation. He broke into the house. Why wasn't the Hunter guy in Haverhill suspended? It's a problem. Like, we can't have anyone breaking into people's homes, much less a public figure who is supposed to be held to a higher standard, than the rest of the public and in a position of authority, breaking in homes, stealing items. We just can't have it. Yes, it's definitely not normal. Okay. My husband is a nurse, and he said give Ativan for the alcoholics in the hospital. Okay, this is interesting. Do they do that for seizures for days? Okay, I did not know that. So that is interesting. Yeah, okay. Again, is that something an addict would know? Probably. Makes sense, right? It's not something that I knew, so I don't know how widely known that is, but that's definitely new to me. Yes, Miss Jess, hashtag fridge acid. Absolutely. I tried to make my thumbnail have something to do with fridge acid, and ChatGPT was not having any of it. They're like, "That is drug use." And I'm like, "Well, it's not if he's holding a leftover that's wrapped in tinfoil," but they did not agree. So we got what we got. Um, okay. Apparently it doesn't discriminate with drugs. Anything does. That's right. Is fridge acid a thing? You know what? Not that I know of. This is new to me. If fridge acid is a thing, please let me know, because I've talked to several people and they also did not know it's a thing. So I have questions, and hashtag fridge acid. We don't know. Okay. Let's see here. We can all see how strong Kelsey is. This has not broken her, and it has only made her stronger. She will come out of this on top in the end. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have no doubt, like, there's not a question in my being that doubts what you're saying right here. So I agree wholeheartedly, Karma. Okay. Acid wrapped in tinfoil. Seriously? That's a red flag. Whoa. Yes. Yes. That's what we hear. Yeah, and Kathy bringing out it's a wide variety of substances. Absolutely. There was quite a few listed there that obviously he partakes in. Justin going to show up at family court looking like a thumb with no hair on his head or anywhere else. Yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't be obvious at all. He already shaved the mustache, right? So he's gonna go get that razor going on his head. Kelsey said there's a lot more coming. This is all Justin's fault. Put this on the screen. This is all Justin's fault. That this all came out. Couldn't handle anything like a man. Went running to momming. Glad Kelsey is already out of this instead of later. Absolutely. And it is all Justin's fault, right? Yeah, he can blame whoever he wants to, but these are his actions. And it is not our fault. It is not Kelsey's fault that his parents didn't teach him that every action has a reaction, right? They didn't have him step up as a young man and realize that and actually face any of the consequences for any of his actions. So that is not Kelsey's fault. He might learn it for the first time through this, but it is his own fault because these are his actions. He chose to do these things, no one else. So yeah, great point. Courtroom Cupcake. Hello, Courtroom Cupcake. I'm assuming you are a cupcake from Melanie's channel. If so, hello, fellow cupcake. Yes, dispensaries. They keep records. They do. However, from what we're hearing, he paid in cash. However, they have camera systems if they needed. So that is a way they could get around that. And then Darcy saying, wow, and he's a firefighter. Just wow. Oh, we got Side Eyes Jess in the house. Hello, Side Eyes Jess. Welcome back. Yep, busted in to get a stash. That was also something I was thinking. Was there stash there with his items? Probably. Or maybe he took that the night before. Kind of makes sense he would take that the night before, but left some of the paraphernalia there, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? He stole a bunch of stuff. So let's see. All right. Liviana saying Becky doesn't make sense that he would look for baby Adams in the basement or take the things he did. Right. And it looks like we can see what's in the basement. It doesn't look like there's anything that's baby related down there. So again, all of his stories not adding up. Courtney is our courtroom cupcake, not a fan of Voodoo Rangers, which I don't know that I've had one, but if Justin likes it, I wouldn't be surprised if it is nasty. That kind of tracks. So is there a beer called the Front Door Basher? I don't know, but if so, maybe they'll sponsor Justin. He's going to need the money, so he should really work on that sponsorship. It really could be beneficial, like a win-win for him, right? He should be subjected to random hair follicle tests. Absolutely, from here on out, in my opinion. And that's, I love that they did that. The hair follicle test can test up to 90 days. And depending on what panel you get, there is a plethora of substances, which sounds like, the one they should be going for. You can test up, I think there's like 17 substances that they'll test for and will come back if it's been used within 90 days. So I'm very happy, and I'm sure that will be granted given the motions here, the affidavits, and then the video footage that they have. So thank you, Justin, for being an idiot and doing it on film. Like, you really just helped yourself there, buddy. Yeah, and then timely manner bringing out Kelsey was the one who had to be tortured, getting tested for alcohol, which had nothing to do with the incident. It's just so unfair. Again, so unfair, and not that it will come close to making anything right, but she's got so many civil suits that she could pursue if she wanted to, in my opinion. All right. 9 a.m. This is a great comment here. 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 12:30 a.m. PM smoking is not normal when you're young, have a wife, and new baby. Yeah, the fact that you have to start the day at 9 a.m., would definitely suggest it's a dependency. My question is, what are you smoking? I have concerns about that. Was it just weed? I don't know that it was. Some of those videos, I talked about it on Baker. Some of the videos that he's smoking inside of the little out shed there, to me, don't look like the average person does when they're smoking weed, in my opinion. I don't know if he is smoking something else or if it is weed, but to me, it looks sus. I've seen a lot of things in my day. I've seen a lot of things when I worked for DCF. Just looks weird to me on a lot of levels. Let's see here. Okay. Does he call his stash his baby? Maybe so. Maybe so. That would make more sense. Cape Cod showing her disgust. Yes, you're gross. Ew, Justin. We all agree. Ew. I can't even believe what I'm hearing. Darcy saying, Liviana, isn't this a federal crime? Yes, some of those crimes are federal crime, and Justice Service reporting that the feds have been told or the feds know or something like that. But whether or not they do anything, I don't know. But yeah, some of them with the identity theft, all of that, hacking into bank accounts, hacking into things with the computer, passport, theft, all of that is all federal crimes. So even though the state is going to protect him for being a firefighter, having a family who's well known in the area, um, we can only hope that the feds might not. But it is Massachusetts. I don't have the strongest, you know, confidence level in them. So we'll see. But yes, they could absolutely pursue charges federally. Okay. How ironic is it? Let's bring this one up. How ironic is it that the Alyaians are advocates for addiction when it seems every one of their children have alcohol and drug issues? Isn't that ironic? I often find that is how it goes. Um, and look, there's nothing wrong with that. Like people have addiction problems, and it really is a disease. However, maybe people at glass houses shouldn't throw things, You're going to sit here and accuse Kelsey with absolutely no proof that she's an alcoholic while looking at the mirror and your self-reflection, you have all of these substance abuse problems. Sir, get the fuck out of here. You're disgusting. That disgusts me. So, if you have an addiction problem, great, get some help, fight it. I know plenty of people who have turned that around. What is not okay to do is to project and try to project your issues onto a mother who has been nothing but a fantastic mother for her son, who has provided for herself and been a badass, woman who owns a home, owns all these things, and i- steal her child from her because you have issues. Yeah, that is not, we're not doing that. That's not the precedent for family courts and for ROs. Like, shame on you and shame on your parents. Like, they have a lot of responsibility to bear because look, if this is the truth, they're advocates for things like that. Aren't they trained to pick up on certain things? Don't you think they pick up on certain things that aren't right? Well, did they know and decided to go along with this whole thing? I don't know. I got questions. I have questions. Yep, narcissistic mama's boy. No lies detected. Um, Holy crap, this vile POS deserves everything that he has coming to him. Audrey, he does. He absolutely does. Baker saying yes. No wonder he lives with his parents. Yeah, well, exactly. He doesn't have anything in his name. Yeah, he has nothing to his name. Okay, I'm just getting to this. Leah say yes, it's lagging. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. If the internet is slow today. Okay. The sound is great. Okay, well, I am sorry about that, guys. I will work on that. Okay. At least you can hear me. Okay. We will try to do better. Actually, I'm working on getting different internet actually. So we will see. Yeah. Classics overthinker saying Justin. Oh no, Darcy saying he sounds like a lunatic. Classic overthinker. Why is Justin always in the basement getting drugs? Question mark. Yeah, who knows, right? So glad she didn't marry him. I think that is everyone attests to that. Oh, we have Maza in the chat. Kelsey comeback tour. That's right. And that's what's happening, right? The tides are turning. Her story is getting out there, and everyone is able to see exactly what is happening. And she's absolutely gonna have her comeback tour. Everything is going Kelsey's way, and it's gonna continue that way, in my opinion. Side eye Jess saying, I bet that baby has such a tough time being switched from breastfeeding to formula so fast. Absolutely. And, we all know Kelsey was a primary caregiver. She was with that baby. And so while the baby, yes, I'm sure he knew his father, never had a mom for months and months and months. Like, all you're doing is a disservice to your child, and you're being selfish. If you really cared for your child, you wouldn't have done it like this. You would have done it like every other man who goes through a breakup who isn't a piece of shit. These things happen every day. Breakups happen, divorces happen. You go through the system and you get half custody, it's just how it is. Why? Because you want your child to still thrive. You don't want your child to be ripped away from either parent. It's just gross. It is so gross. Um, so Justin is an old drunkard that he has to, yep, he gets the shakes. Yep, absolutely. Sounds as though that is the case. Um, I see aliens in New Mexico. All right. Maza. Yes, we love Maza. Okay, here we go. Hi, Mads. Mad P. All right. Yes. Shout out to Maza for the great work for Kelsey. Maza is such a strong advocate and fierce warrior for Kelsey. Kind of just spearheading this whole fundraising for her. The amount of money that he has raised for her is just amazing, and we all love him so much. Yes, Justin is a narcissist. Yes. Did Justin live with his mommy before Kelsey? From my knowledge, he at some point did. Then he had like a small apartment that was like not a very good one or something. I don't know. Let's see. Why did Kelsey pull the gun? Because she was going to pew pew herself in the head because her child was being taken away from her. Her fiance that she had literally a few days prior, all of that was going south. Everything was being ripped out from her. She suffered from postpartum previous to this. And for that split second, she felt like there was absolutely nothing to live for. And I think if, even if you're not a mother, you can kind of understand how your brain might go there. If you've ever suffered from depression, if you've ever had severe anxiety, to have a thought like that is not out of the ordinary, especially given the circumstances. It's just not. Um, okay. Brown man living with his mommy on a firefighter salary tells me he spends where he spends his money. Yeah, I think after all this stuff comes out, it makes a lot more sense. Darcy saying he's acid and tin foil in the fridge is definitely a red flag. Yes. Classic overthinker. A 30-year-old with absolutely nothing is always a red flag. Yes. Okay. Timely manner. Imagine giving a baby formula after using drugs. Even correct mixture. Look, I mean, there's no telling, no telling, but a child should never be in that situation. Grown man living with his mommy and daddy. Okay, that one we've already read. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. What's this? FYI, the PR team is out in full force. Lost my ex for a day for sharing Ashley's drug problems. Well, I mean, it's a public document probably, right? So that's crazy. Yeah, there is. I've shared my story that, I kind of just not even looking for it, found Court TV had reported on it. It was something on their page on Facebook, and I was looking through the comments, and there was one that stated something about her being an alcoholic, making some sort of joke. I went to that person's profile. He had his friends listed, and you can see he was friends with all of the firefighters that are in the North Andover firefighter department. So, I mean, these people are out there. Uh, they've got to try to build Justin up somehow. So it wouldn't be shocking if they are out in full force. Amanda, I don't know if you're talking to me, but if you are way too kind. Thank you so much. Sue is agreeing. You are spot on. Did he actually call the police after he's broken into the home the day they're going? Yeah, he called the police after he retrieved the things that he wanted to retrieve from the house. Then he called and said, the alarm's going off. I have no doubt that her dad's gonna come here and he's gonna retaliate. Just all these crazy allegations that he just made up in his head, knowing darn well that that wasn't going to happen. Kelsey's family is not violent or, unagreeable to anything. I mean, this guy is just absolutely insane and saying things that he knows is going to get a reaction out of the department, or hopes to get a reaction out of the department, or it will be in writing for his future court dates. The amount of manipulation and orchestrated events that is going on, I can't even overstate that. Like, everything was done for a reason, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, he had already stolen all of her items when he called. Okay. Old biker, I don't know if you're here, Justin. If that's you, I'm sorry you're having a bad week, buddy, but do better. Um, okay, because he ripped out the cameras. Yeah, who does that, right? Like, if you're going in the basement to rip out the cameras first thing, well, why? Like, common sense. Um, okay. Leah thinks the Lands are watching. Hello. Hello, if so. Leah guaranteed. Okay, old biker. Here's the deal. So I don't really care who you like or who you don't like, but in this chat we're respectful. So you can either be respectful or we will kick you out. So your choice. I don't care either way. But you know, knock it off, basically. Let's see. Residue on clothes. Yeah, I mean, look, there's all kinds of things. Drugs are messy, right? So I mean, drugs are laced with things. If they were doing other things than marijuana, there is a huge risk in doing a drug, not knowing exactly what's in it, and then going inside and dealing with your newborn baby. That's a huge risk. Um, so yeah, and then that, he should be concerned about is his safety of himself, but also his child and his fiance. There's a lot of problems. Kelsey's Amazon list is very cool. Yes. Okay, Sue's still deciding what she wants to buy her. It makes me so happy to gift her something that she wants and needs. Yeah, you know what? It's really cool because I like the fact that they have obviously they need her defense fund, all that. But it's really cool to see things and to have that visual and, you know, um, see exactly where your money's going. It's a really nice aspect of also a way to donate and to see what you're sending them. And you can almost picture little Caden playing on some of the toys and stuff. So I'm really glad that they have the Amazon wish list as well. And I'm really happy for her. Okay. Darcy saying, didn't know what a drug and alcohol abuser Justin is. Yeah, I don't think we all, didn't know the extent of it, right? And again, these are all allegations. We have to say that, but we also have videos that confirm a lot of those things. So, let's see. All right, let me get down here to a little newer comments. No video of them doing that. Well, we have video of him smoking something. So, it's not nicotine. And also, even if it was nicotine, he's not allowed to do it as a firefighter, whether so it's people's personal decision whether they do nicotine or weed. I could care less either way. But when you're take a position in, the county where, you cannot do it, then you can't do it. Not my problem. That's yours. And said, just saying, as someone who relies on my ADA meds and how often times hard it is to get, it's insane. Yeah, it is. And it just, the misuse of it speaks to a lot of more deeper problems, in my opinion. Okay, Miss Bomb, what are your chat rules? Okay. She is amazing and the best thing that happened to him, but he couldn't handle such a good person, the mom. Yeah. Look, he's never going to get the quality and the beauty and someone who had her whole life and shit together. He will never find that again. He just won't. And the beauty of that is she will find someone so much better than him, way better looking, has his shit together, and doesn't have all these issues, right? So she will be the winner in this on every level, but he will be the loser and forever the loser. Yeah, it seems like mom is very much of an enabler, very much of a coddler, and, you know, if I had to guess, probably not super excited that, Justin had a strong, successful, pretty lady in his life? So, yep. All right. Mm, okay, what is this? Okay, I don't know what that's about, but hopefully everyone is behaving. Um, Ativan used to prevent seizures and withdrawals. Yeah, it's also used for anxiety. It could be used for a lot of things. Okay, I just looked at my prescription bottle. Nowhere does it say the suggested way to snort. Yeah. Yeah, I can attest. Yeah, don't snort it. Like that's not gonna be good. Um, Jenny mentioning a paramedic would know. He absolutely would know. Yep, good point. Good point. And I think sometimes we forget too, like he was an EMT. So he drove the ambulance. So he knew enough about a lot of things, right? Okay. Granny. Mm, okay. Yeah, it's a stimulant, central nervous system. It's a dangerous drug, especially snorting it. Yeah. Oh, Denise, I am so glad that you caught me too. So if you hit the bell on if you go on my channel and you hit the little bell, it'll say get all notifications and you can choose to get all notifications. And then hopefully it will notify you when I'm going live. And then you'll get a notification to your phone and then you can just hop on over. So I am glad that you caught us as well. I am so happy to have you. Hopefully you are doing well today. Sorry, mods, I'm working. I just timed out of the bike. Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries, just like I don't care. Like, I don't care about people. Like, people are gonna that's the thing. Like, either you're not gonna be able to say anything to me that's gonna bug me. Like, I've heard it all. As a private investigator, like you're just gonna there's not a whole also I was in an abusive relationship, marriage. There's really nothing you can say to me that's gonna really like hurt my feelings. So those people don't bother me. So no worries. Okay. So sorry, Kelsey. We didn't know we love and believe you and support you. Yeah, and I think she feels that, and just supporting her and getting her story out there, donating when we can. It really goes a long way. And I can tell you that they really, really, really appreciate it. It means more to them than they could ever express. And they're really just a wonderful family. Okay. Better to put it in the freezer. The cold slows the chemical. Oh, okay, whoever. Okay. You sound like you might know a thing or two. Is fridge acid a thing? Asking for everyone because we don't know. We've never heard of it. Let me know. Is fridge acid like a thing? Did you know about this? Is that a real thing? Tell us everything. Um, Side eye saying yes, you're doing great, Jess. Okay. Does Justin have ADHD? Or no, not that I know of. I have no idea, but I would think that if he did, he'd use his own. That's just my assumption because he said he had to get it from his cousin Michael. So I'm assuming if he had it himself, he would just use his own, but I don't know for a fact that he does or doesn't. Um, in Montreal, you have grandparents' rights. I think that's fantastic. Um, yeah, let's see. Okay. Yep. Okay. Carmen knows your address. Yes, Ativan for detox to prevent seizures. Okay, let's see. As Nurse Kim said, never trust a man whose drug of choice is all of them. Listen, if Nurse Kim said it, absolutely. I love me some Nurse Kim. Let's see. Thanks for checking Lauren Jess. Oh, thanks, guys. Um, his parents didn't teach him about karma. They didn't. They didn't teach him about karma, but I'm so glad that we're all here when he's learning about it, right? Sometimes we're lucky enough that we get to see the karma firsthand. Karma is always going to happen, but sometimes if we're lucky enough, we get to watch. And I feel like this is one of those times that we are lucky enough that we are literally getting to watch his karma. Um, I don't know how many phones that Lisa laying through because apparently that's a thing. And I just find that funny as well. If you'll remember, like some of the allegations of that bachelorette party was that Kelsey was throwing everything, like bottles and mics. I mean, she'd be throwing everything, right? And then magically didn't hit anyone when she was throwing things, but was allegedly throwing things. And then we we read the report from uh Kelly from the Stowe department, who was friends with Lisa, talking about, all kinds of things and protecting her family. And then we get the report that Lisa, I guess, reported to Officer Lieutenant Kelly that she was so upset when she got a call from Mr. Bradle asking if Kelsey could maybe FaceTime her son before she went into a surgery that they didn't know if she was going to make it out from. Right. And that just infuriated her so much that she threw her phone across the room. I'm sorry, what? That infuriated you so much you threw your phone across the I don't know about you, I've never thrown my phone, and, look, I'm not gonna say that, like, other people haven't, because 'cause I'm sure they have. However, if you're throwing your phone over something like that, I have concerns. I have concerns for the baby, like, why are we not in some type of, like, healthy outlet to get your anger out in some kind of other way? Like, karate, ma'am, maybe you should join a karate studio. Maybe you should go to the gym and take some boxing classes. I don't know, but I have concerns for your anger management, okay? And knowing that your grandson's in that house, I have some major concerns because why are we throwing phones across the room? Because Bradle asked if Kelsey might be able to FaceTime her son before life-saving surgery. You've gotta be joking me. So I think it's funny a little bit that now she's throwing things. So, kinda seems like that verbiage, they really like throwing things, and it seems like it would add up if maybe she wasn't throwing anything. And they were just saying she was throwing things because, well, they like to throw things. Again, remember we talk about the projecting? Sometimes people that are projecting things like that, specific things like that, are the ones that are doing it. So, alright. Oh, Brit Gal, hello. Just subscribed and oh, thank you so much. Aw, I am so glad to have you and welcome. Glad you are here. Okay, yes. Yes, Justin started all this and he gets what he gets and he doesn't get upset. Exactly. I love that. And we have our Queen Mel who has brought a lot of awareness to this case too. We love Melanie so much. She is a fierce warrior who's doing God's work out there for people every day. Let's see. Okay, Linda saying she has to show an ID at the dispensary. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Thank you, Side Edge Jess. I know you're always here for me. So sweet. All right. Classic overthinker. Does dispensary only sell marijuana or does it sell spice too? That I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Viper. Hello, Viper. Welcome. Yep, everyone just kind of saying that you have to show ID. Okay. Okay, let's see what's going on. People put acid in the fridge to prevent the chemical breakdown so it doesn't lose its potency. Okay, interesting. Okay. Again, I feel like this is something that you would know if you know a little bit more specifics about drugs, right? Or that drug specifically. This is good information to have. That is something I've taken a lot of drug courses with my job now and also my job with DCF. We had to know a lot about drugs. That was something I have not learned, and I always love learning new stuff. So this is good information. I did not know. Thank you very much, Laura. Okay. The glare had him clocked from day one. Hopefully, family court judge does even more. He should get extra punishment for abusing. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah. And I was watching that glare show, and he came on Maz's fundraiser that day, I believe. And I said to him, "Can you like kind of mention what you were mentioning?" Because when he was saying it was making a lot of sense to me. Glare is one who is really well at like good at seeing through people, and he reads people really well. So, yes, he did have that clocked, and it also fits with the money component of, Justin being so money oriented. So he did absolutely have that correct. Um, yeah, who keeps newborn things in the basement? I don't know, and it doesn't appear that they did either. Um, just reminding everyone to hit the like and subscribe button for everyone who is new here. Happy to have you. I am a newer channel just starting out, so if you like and subscribe, it definitely helps me out big time. So, let's see. Justin is his own worst enemy. Yep, I love that for him. Absolutely love it for him. Courtroom cupcake. Yes. Hello, Lauren. I'm a Melody Cupcake and loving that you started your new channel. Thank you. Congrats. Thank you so much. Yes, Melanie is fantastic. I have to read my my motions with her, even if I've read them myself. I want to go over and read them with her. I always learn something new from her reading them, and I know you feel the same way. She is just a priceless gem that we are lucky to have in this community. So, thank you so much for your sweet words. Okay, let's see. His mom loves all of this apparently. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be a guest, a house guest at the Alayans right now. It's not the best week for them, right? Like things are not going so well. Oh, yep. Britt saying from the nether regions, they might have to pull the hair follicle out. Okay. Yep. Whoever saying technically they can test him randomly at the fire department. Most jobs like that test you before they hire you, and then they only test you if you've had an accident at work. Yes, and that is also I have a source that says they don't really do random tests there. I think they have the right to do it, and I think as you're saying, if there's a reason to test you, maybe they would do it then, or an accident, like you said, some kind of liability prevention would be the case. But I have a source that says they don't just do random tests, and that tracks, and it would also track for I don't know this by any means, but I am also I've seen people saying I bet when the videos came out he was given a test and he failed. That also could be very possible, because if you're, seeing videos, on the news of your employee doing said things, it seems like a good idea to possibly give a test at that moment. So all of these things are possible, and I'm sure we'll find out more, whether it be at criminal trial or the family court matters. But all of this is going to come out, whether it's just a matter of which court it's going to come out at. So I just love it that we're finally past the point of them spreading misinformation about Kelsey and the person that she is and the mother that she is. And they can no longer spread those type of lies because we have, we've known it, but the public maybe didn't know it as widely as we did, who could see through all of the BS. Now, even the mainstream media is reporting on these things, and they're people see them with their own eyes. You can't really deny something that we all see. We all see him smoking. Um, so I just love it for her. She had to wait quietly, patiently, and I just don't know how she did it, to be honest. I mean, I'm in awe of her patience. I am not the most patient person, so for her to have that type of patience in something like this, I just admire it so much. Okay, now we know why they hired a PR firm. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Matt, I don't have a clue about this. I've not heard that, so I can't speak on that. No clue. Um, oh, whoever 420 is drinking a Voodoo Ranger right now. Okay. Well, hopefully it is enjoyable and glad you were here while you're relaxing on your Saturday. We are happy to have you. Um, okay. What is going on? My cat, they're either sleeping or they're just on everything. Like there's no in between. I have a bed right here. I even had a bed that attached to my desk in like hopes that they would just come and sleep there and then you guys would be able to see them and like see how cute they were. Yeah. That bed didn't stay on there long. It kept falling off because they'd walk on it wrong. And then this bed is just empty. I don't know where they are. Every once in a while they come sleep in it, but they're like, please, we're not doing anything that you'd want us to do, mom. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Justin was in the house when Kelsey was shot. When the shots were fired, Justin gave the baby to his sister. Yeah, that's one of his stories, right? Like the stories change. There's a few stories out there. How much do you bet Justin's mom is the only one that's taking care of the child? Yeah, I've heard different things. I've heard the sister's also taking care of the child. I don't know. And look, it takes an army, it takes a village to raise a child. So I don't per se have anything, negative to say about that, but the fact that you are not going to let Kelsey's parents see the children, like you're a vile human being. Like you obviously have this hatred for Kelsey for what reason, I don't know, but you have it and you've managed to manipulate the system so that she can't see her child. And then you're going to take the rights of the grandparents away from seeing the child. Like you're gross. You're a gross human being. So yeah, I don't know. Karma's coming and it is arrived and we are all loving it. Um, okay, let's see. Okay, after Karen and Kelsey get through the Commonwealth, they will have a fold their tents like the Arabs and some steal away. Yeah, they both listen, they are both really strong women who they thought they were gonna get some over on, right? And surprise, the joke's on them. These women fought back and they said absolutely not. And the facts and the evidence and the truth was on their side. So take that, Commonwealth. All right. Yep. 100% was him busting in to get all his paraphernalia, in my opinion. Um, he should be fired. Yeah, I don't know how he's not going to be fired. I don't know how they're going to salvage that now. Whether another department hires him on after that, who knows? The corruption there is so strong, who knows? But he absolutely should be fired. I mean, there's not even a question. Um, and he has himself to blame for that. It is only himself. Um, right. He doesn't call it that stash. Okay. Yep. Incestuous, just like Norfolk County. Yeah. Essex County is the new Norfolk County. I truly believe that. I'm even hearing some pretty gross things about Stowe and their behavior that has come out in the FOIA the FOIA drops is kind of backing that up too. It's disheartening, It is really disheartening. But Kelsey is much stronger now, and she can follow through some of those complaints and see how it goes. Absolutely, she'll be in a good position. Let's see. Hello, Lauren. Oh, hi, Miss Holmes. Welcome. I know I'm lagging. I'm not sure what's going on. I think it might be a little bit better as of the last like 2 minutes. And so I'm not sure if my internet was doing some funky things. I think it is back and it should be maybe a little bit better. But I am doing some internet changes anyway, so hopefully the new one will be better. But hello, and it is so great to have you here. Okay, gummies would be easier to keep a level. You're right. However, it is of my opinion and in my experience that addicts don't use gummies. Okay, so I don't know if anyone else has found that to be the case, but that has been my experience. $5,000 theft is grand larceny. Yeah, look, he's committed some very serious crimes. Very serious crimes. Um, okay. Kelsey wasn't even videoing him during the smoking. Yeah, she didn't she didn't even know these existed, right? That's what I got from the court. They just discovered them once they got the camera and surveillance system back from the Commonwealth that they're like, "Oh, look at this. 200 videos of him outside hiding. What is this?" So, all right. Crime better, Justin just says, yeah, absolutely. Um, okay. Be Nothing says, I think it's possible his drug use was added to her stress. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no telling. I mean, there's no telling. And, um, what was he contributing to that household? I would be shocked if it was much. So everything might have seemed like it was all on her shoulders. I don't know, but I can only imagine because, just being a woman, having dated in my past, like, come on. Like, we've all dated people who really didn't bring a whole lot to our relationship or a marriage or whatever. Um, and that is stressful. So there's a lot of things that could have, contributed to that. Okay. Yep. Viper bringing up a great point. Both Karen and Kelsey had, having to sell their homes. And anybody has worked hard to purchase a home knows how hard that is, and how satisfying it is once you get it. So the fact that they had to do that is really just heartbreaking. And then the fact that you had this slime ball trying to come in and take 250K of her profit of her home. Get out of here. Like, you are a vile piece of shit. Like, who does that? Like, that pisses me off so much. That, just when you had any question about him, and he came and did that, and he completely showed himself. Like, I didn't need to know anything else after I heard that about him. I knew exactly the type of person that he was. Um, that's just disgusting. Shame on you. Go buy your own house. Like, do your own work. Get off your lazy butt. You'd probably have a little bit more motivation if you weren't high all the time. It appears like you are, given what we've just seen with our eyes and in court documents, that might be the case. Get your own house. All right. Can you imagine your partner laying around high while you're taking care of your newborn? Bet he was a real big help. Exactly, Sue. You see what I'm saying? You see it. Um, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, I bet you. Like, if that is happening, if he's laying around high all the time, what else is he not doing? Everything. She's probably doing everything. Managing all the bills, paying all the bills, most of the bills. Um, taking the child, taking off from work to taking the child to get his doctor's visits and laundry, everything that goes into having a baby and then just having a household separate from that baby is a lot of work to do on your own. So yeah, it's wild to me. Yeah, a lot of people saying there's comparisons to Lisa Alyaian and Donna Adelson. Both seem very controlling and manipulative, so I could see that comparison there. And yep, that's how controlling parents end up. Try not to control your young adults, in my opinion. Yeah, look, I'm all for loving parents and helping your kids, but at some point, if you're not teaching them life lessons of when you reap, you sow, then you're not helping them, you're hurting them. That is not helpful. He's 31 and can get help. Has a son. He needs to clean up his act. Absolutely. Absolutely. Has he ever been to rehab? I don't know. I know he has some drug charges from back when he was younger. I almost think that the parents spoke out about that, so it wouldn't shock me, but I don't know. From what I've heard, the daughter has been to rehab. I'm not sure. I mean, but he should maybe check that out again. I mean, from what we're hearing and seeing, I have concerns. And look, like, Kelsey's not trying to take her son completely away from him forever, but, if this is his actions, he needs to get his shit together. He can't be around a child and, expect this child to be looked after properly. If this is the things that is happening, that's a real problem if these are correct. Okay, they are investigating the drugs because, yeah, I would venture to say you're right. I don't think it's anything to do with breaking and entering. He got a free pass. I mean, it's may as well have given him a key to the city. It's disgusting how they treated them after that blatant, felony that we all saw on camera. Yeah, a lot of times they want both parents to have their own place. Yeah, and the court is gonna weigh that. And it's the fact that Kelsey is in the position that she was in, literally got out of jail, literally is still currently on trial, and she has her own place. So what is Justin's excuse? I'll wait because, like, I don't think he has one. He just doesn't have it. So it makes her look great, which she has always been. Like, she is someone who's always worked for really hard for the things that she's had a house at 26. Like, she's a hard worker. I can't say the same for Justin. It does not appear that he is. So the court is going to see that. Okay. What is this? Breastfeeding. It's helpful for a baby's immunity too because the mother's antibodies are passed through the baby. That's right. Absolutely. There's no way to do that with formula. Absolutely. It has so many benefits. Absolutely. So many benefits. And it's such a bonding experience when you're breastfeeding your child, and it's a wonderful thing for parent and baby. So he really just stole everything from his son. He really did. Um, in my opinion, Justin and his family knew how to push the buttons. Absolutely. They knew the catchphrases to say for the system. They knew how to get something done, and they knew exactly what to present to that court when he went in there to get that temporary order. And, we see. Hello, Britt. He has those drugs when he was 19. Yeah, I don't know about that, so I'm not gonna speak on that. Um, absolutely, baby blues is normal, and it's happening more and more often. It is unusual if you don't have some sort of postpartum at some point in your pregnancy or after. So it is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. It is, very common. And for Justin to use that against her after he pretended to support her in that is also vile. Um, okay. All right. Mary saying, okay, can I speculate Justin called the police on 7/2, then went there, found the locks changed, hence why he called again on 7/3 and brought up Katie. Um, I would have to look on when the locks were changed, but I do believe that time does sound about right. Um, I do know that he was over at the house, I believe, the day before. So, I believe he retrieved a few things. So maybe he got in there before the locks were changed, and then the locks were changed on the 2nd, I believe. Um, so I don't know. The timing's close on that, but I think you're not far off from whatever you're saying, probably. But I would have to look at there's so many different documents now in this case, and the timing of everything, sometimes I can't remember perfectly. Alright, maybe she, was there afraid to leave the baby with Justin, so she didn't wanna get back to work. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of things, but I don't think, you know, I don't think we'll speculate on everything, here. I'm surprised that the cops didn't smell weed on him that day. Which day are you talking about? Um, let's see. NH Mary saying that she prays for Kelsey, that Kelsey is protected. This family is off their rocker. Yep, I agree. I think Kelsey and her family definitely appreciate the prayers. They're believers, and we can all keep them in our prayers and thoughts. Um, Ranger Joe, you are more than welcome. Just this case I'm very passionate about, so it's very easy to do. Um, Let's see. Karma, there's your address. Thank you for everyone hitting the like button as you come. Yes, thank you very much. Hit the like button and the subscribe button. The channel is new, so that helps me out big time, and I appreciate it. Um, yes, let's see. Yes, and all of it was under manipulated pretenses. Yes, very much so. Um, Good to see for Kelsey, the link at the top of the page if you feel inclined. That's right. Karma reminding you that her Gifts and Go is pinned at the top of the chat if you're able to donate. Every little bit, every dollar goes a long way. Miss Jess saying, Sue, you are so cute, and I concur with her. All the Goodmans are here. Hello, Goodmans. Hello. Thank you for joining us. And everybody's loving the Goodmans here. We all know the Goodmans. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's what he signed up for, no drugs, period, and he's supposed to be a role model. Absolutely. He knew what he was getting into when he took that position. So, you know, I don't want to hear it. He knew exactly what the role was. Absolutely. Um Liviana saying that this case is shocking and truly concerning, especially after seeing that video. I hope there's a strong security measures in place for her new home, and I hope that she and her family have a safe and peaceful life. Yes, I am sure. Her father is a security expert, so I'm sure that he is on it. And yes, she's still got a little ways to go in the court, but she will absolutely, I think, have a wonderful, peaceful life after this. I think things are all looking up and tides are turning for Kelsey, and it is fantastic to see. Hi, Sleuthy. Hello, my love. All right. Everyone showing the loves for the Goodmans. They're adorable. Okay. Okay, whoever is saying I'm an EMT and I don't teach you that in EMT school, and they don't teach you that in EMT school. Yep. Okay. Donna saying, would someone want someone under the influence pulling up in a fire truck in your home? I would not. I also wouldn't want someone who broke in and stole coming in my house. There's no telling what they might snatch on the way out. I also just have like such a, after seeing him and hearing him, like, can anyone really see him going in and like, I am gonna fight all these fires, put out the fire. Like, no, I see him like crouched down in the fetal position in a hallway, scared of the flames. Like, I just can't even picture him as a firefighter after the nonsense that we've read of him being so scared of his own shadow, of everything, real or delusional things. He's scared of everything. I can't even picture him in that role. So it's humorous to me to like even think of him, doing that. I don't know. Um, yes. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of warnings to be passed around. This is and even just people dating people, like, these are red flags that we can all now, after seeing things, look for, right? There's so many things that we could now pick out maybe that we wouldn't even have seen before. And that's what this is about. Everything in life that we go through is a learning experience. You can make mistakes, that's fine. As long as you learn from them, then it wasn't for nothing. So, in every tragic case, you can learn something from it and take something from it. And that's how I try to live my life and always learn as much as I possibly can. I don't know what my cat is doing. All right, let's see. Hello from the UK. Hello. I have one of my dear friends that lives in the UK as well, so welcome. All right. Let's see. Get a little bit more recent here in the comments. I am slow. Okay. I think that the cops only smell weed strategically, and also it's illegal in the state of Massachusetts. Yeah, it's legal. Yeah, here in Florida as well. Yeah, paranoia. Yeah, it seemed like it seemed like him and some of his parents with the drive-bys and expecting the cops to drive by on things, and they had no reason to be scared. It definitely seemed absolutely ridiculous. Let's see here. Oh, hold on, I think I went yeah, okay. There we go. Sleuthy. Alright. Okay. I love that the chat is, like, having their own chats. It's fantastic. Alright. Courtroom Cupcake saying Justin is simply a jerk, a punk, an asshole who will get his coming sooner rather than later. What a dummy. His parents did him wrong. Yeah, they really did. They did him a disservice. This is not helpful in your adult life to be coddled the way that he was, and you can't have any kind of consequences. It's just, yeah. Sleuthy saying she's going for a bench trial if I'm Kelsey. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone feel free to give your thoughts and opinions. I have feelings both ways. I don't know, I trust Bradle, so whatever he decides I think is fantastic, but I both make me nervous, and I Massachusetts has given me a little PTSD from judges, I will be honest. So, um, yeah. Okay, why isn't there a police report from Maine? I don't know that they even called the police or filed a police report, if my memory serves me right. Um, I'm just saying, "Mommy Lisa prepping a bathtub full of Nair in case anyone approves of hair testing." Yeah, I don't think you're far off, right? This sounds like something that would be right up your wheelhouse. Um, as a mother here we go. As a mother, I want her to see her son right before that. Yeah. Okay, this judge seems good for a bench trial. I agree. He seems very fair. I love that he had intellectual and, questions that he wanted to find out for himself. I thought that was fantastic. Um, and it looks good. I'm just a little scared. Um, okay, Sleuthy speaking from her experience, and look, that's a no matter what it was we went through, we have experience for a reason, right? If we can't help others with our knowledge, then what are we doing, you know? So I always appreciate that about Sleuthy. She always tries to help other people. Um, all right, let's see. Liviana saying they can't suddenly switch the judge. Can they if they opt in for no, they can't. No. No, no, no. But hey, I get your, your questions because listen, we're all traumatized. We are all traumatized here from some really bad judges in the last couple years here. So it is a valid point. In my opinion, bad or kick, no experts kicking no time. Okay. Oh, I guess I think I got in on the middle of that one. All right, let me just go down to the very end. Okay. Laura saying Kelsey has her own home now and she has a degree and she has been a paralegal. Justin is on his big time out with his firefighter job and he lives with the mommy and daddy. You know, it is really, really that simple. She has done more stuff in her young life than a lot of people do in their full life. And Justin had a noble job as a firefighter. I won't take that from him, but that's really all he's done. So, it speaks for herself. Kelsey had a lot going for her, has a lot going for her. She's smart, she's independent, she's hardworking, she's beautiful. These are things that he will never be able to take from her. The only thing that he knew a way to take from her was her son. And she is going to end up getting him back. And he is the one that is going to be without him or in a very unfavorable position, in my opinion. So, karma is real. What you reap, you sow. And I am so glad that we are getting to watch it in real time. Sometimes you don't get to do that. It takes a long time, but in this case, it seems as though it's coming um, sooner than later, thankfully for Kelsey. All right, let's see here. Do they have the phone call history from those time periods? What time periods were you wondering about? Yeah, the fact that he is a license to carry is a problem. I think it's very problematic. And if I was a resident up there, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near him if he was carrying a firearm. So I think that's an issue that needs to be looked at. And can't be stated enough. Donna asking how you get permission from the police to break in with friends. Yeah. Apparently you have to be a firefighter. You have to know some people on the police department and you have to have the last name Alyaian. And then you're set. Go for it. Take whatever you want, even a 50-inch screen TV, as the lady said. Just take it. No big deal. They're not going to say anything. And she'll have to take it up in civil court if she thinks something's missing. How disgusting is that? I mean, really, how disgusting. What kind of precedent are we setting when people break up now in North Andover? Are they going to just be able to break in homes and take whatever they want and then say, take it up with civil court, North Andover police, that it was mine because I used to live here. It's a very, very bad precedent, and it should terrify everyone. Karen bringing out there's public pressure now. I think that is fantastic. We need to keep it up. He has not been fired. He is still suspended with pay. And also that firefighter who broke in with him is still there having no investigation. So I have a problem with that too. Whoever says, I've worked several jobs like that, including the fire department, and I've never had a single random test. Yeah. I respect the rules and I quit smoking weed through it, though. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm hearing, is that they're just yes, they can give you random tests, but they don't do it. So let's see. Yeah, Lisa A. Really, mommy dearest. Yeah, yeah. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. Yes, our Queen Melanie. We love Queen Melanie. If he shaved his head, I bet he forgot his eyebrows. That's right. Don't forget those eyebrows with the Nair, Lisa. Don't forget that. Put his face in the water in the bathtub. Gotta get those eyebrows and eyelashes. Um, can't wait to see him on the stand. This right here, this, everything about this. Can't wait to see him on the stand. Will he squirm? Will he be like the House defendants, arrogant and narcissistic? I don't know, but I think we all can agree he'll be shaking, whether that be from alcohol withdrawal or from sheer fear. He will be shaking in his boots. Man, I hope they call him just for, you know, being selfish. I wanna see him on the stand, and I wanna see Bradle cross him. That would give me so much joy. It would not even be funny. Noonan will be great. Don't get me wrong, that'll be very enjoyable, but Justin, that's a whole 'nother level of enjoyment and entertainment because that guy deserves everything he gets, and I wanna see him squirm. He deserves to squirm. Let's see. All right. Sadly, I don't think she had a choice but to keep quiet in that time due to prevent court issues. Yep, absolutely. She is a strong lady with an amazing mother. Absolutely. Yeah, when you're on trial, that's what you do. You keep quiet. You know, we got a lot more out of Karen Reed than most people get out of any defendants, and Kelsey remained quiet because that's what you do. And how frustrating it is to have to do that when you know so much that there is to say and you know the truth behind everything, but she knew it would come out and it's starting to come out and I am so glad for that for her. Whoever's saying I have 3 cats and I had to build a stronger cat tree than the ones that you buy because my cats before were huge and could break them. Yeah, that's like one of mine is, he's a little chunky guy. He's so cute, but he's same way, and he doesn't know he's big, so, like, when he comes up on me, he want when he was a kitten, he would always lay, like, right here under my neck, like, right on my chest, and now that he's full grown, he thinks he's still that same size, so he'll just come and he'll jump from, like, the couch on to me, and it's like, "Oh," like, "Okay." Thanks. And then he'll just, like, sit there and it's like, cool. Now I really can't breathe. So, yes, I get what you're saying. Like, my one little guy is, he is not a little guy. He's a chunky little monkey, but he's a cutie. All right, let's see. All right, what do we have here? Justin fled once the shots were fired. Nice to know he's a first responder. Yeah, courtroom cupcake, this was also a big thing for me, like, what a coward, you know? Is your love for somebody who you were with for years gonna dissipate within a couple days, or are you gonna be concerned for their safety that you're gonna still be like, "Oh my gosh, like, is she okay? Let me run up there." They're trained for these type of things, but, you know, you're running out of the house and then you're gonna whine and bitch on the phone to someone because your safety was in jeopardy. I just can't. I can't. Maybe this isn't the career path for you, Justin, because all I've heard from you is whining about your safety and your brother's safety and your sister's safety. Well, then I don't know what you're doing because you're trained as a paramedic firefighter to go help those who need your help. What better situation would you be in than someone who was just shot and to show and render aid to them, and you don't. So, you think that I'm thinking you're running into fires, really? 'Cause I'm having a hard time picturing it. Just my it's really having a hard time for me to get that. So, maybe we need a change of, careers there. Maybe this is the time. Yep, his mom wants to be a mommy again, sure does sound like that. Maybe she'll teach them about karma and consequences to actions this time, because she sure didn't do it with any of her children. All right. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, Karma reminding to hit the like button as you come in. As Melanie would say, it's like wiping your feet at the mat, a courtesy. Yes. Thank you so much. All right. Kelsey was like, at least he takes the dog out. I don't have to ask him to do that chore. You're not wrong. She was probably like, why is he so eager? Like, man, okay, it's the one thing you really like, doesn't have a problem doing. Always wants to take Maverick out. Okay. Well, cool. Always volunteering to go outside. Yeah. Um, okay. More BS about the family being well known. Sounds like criminals in Canton. Yep. Yeah, and I think, a lot of things don't fit with Karen Reed case, but certain aspects of this case do fit. And the connections and everybody knowing someone is definitely an aspect that does fit the whole Canton and Dedham, area very well. Wonder if Justin's mom has called Officer Kelly to do a drive-by because she's afraid this weekend. Oh, you know it. You know it. All right. That burden of truth supporting that it's not good for healthy boundaries. Yeah, healthy boundaries are very, very good and a must. Justice should be the same for everyone, whether it is rich and no people in power, or if you're a homeless person on the street who has been convicted of other things multiple times. That's right. That's right. The standard should be the same, and we can't have firefighters just because they're firefighters allowed to break into homes and steal things. Um, all right. They have hated Kelsey because they think the eh, sun rises and sets in Justin's butt. It doesn't matter how grimy he is. It's somehow her fault. And Chastity, I think you're right on with that. Yeah. I think they praised him his whole life. He was never in trouble for anything. Nothing was ever his fault. And I think you're probably spot on. All right. Not to talk about a 1-year-old walking around. Hope he can't find any. Well, he better not have any there to find. That's a real concern. And when Kelsey signed these things, these were real concerns. Like there are major concerns with him being the primary caregiver. Even in that house with others, there's big concerns there. So these are valid concerns. I hope we have cameras inside the courtroom when he gets arrested and is on trial. Dude, you know what? Don't hold your breath because they have made it very clear they're not arresting him and not pressing charges. I think the best we can hope for at this point would be some federal charges and the feds don't allow cameras in the courtroom, but it's just disgusting, that they have they have basically said he's just not going to be charged. So, but look, there's karma already happening. He's on suspended leave. I can't imagine he would be able to keep his job. Um, I can't imagine that. That's some form of karma. It's not the karma that we all want, but there's other ways of getting it. So I don't know. Wait and see. We'll see if anything transpires federally, but yeah. Um, yep, she was doing everything. I know this because I was just like her. I have a good husband now. My first husband was a monster. And I think that is also something that makes Kelsey's case relatable to a lot of us. We've experienced someone in our life, right? Um, Similar to Justin, maybe not to the level or different levels, but in some way, we might have experienced that for ourselves and can kind of read between the lines and see people's BS, right? And I'm glad that you have a good one now. All right. I think he was sure the truth would never come out. I think you're right about that, because he's never had to face any consequences. Everyone was always covering up anything he did wrong. So I think you're right about that. And whoever's saying to Laura that she's glad you got away from that monster as well. I'd love to know what the first judge that seemed to hate Kelsey is thinking now. She's probably throwing her phone with Lisa. I can only imagine. She needs to be hiding is what she needs to be doing. Like, the stuff she did, major consequences could come her way, and that's another thing that needs to be handled. That doesn't need to be just swept under the rug. All right. Let's see here. The key to the city includes other people's houses. Yes, very, very nice. Oh, I like that. Yes. Yes. Any house you want, you get it all. It's a skeleton key. Goes anywhere. Take what you want. Anything you see. All right. Newton claimed it was Flexerol. I am skeptical. Yeah. I mean, this is all off of people's words, right? We don't know. That's just what he claims. So who knows? But that story is odd in itself for a lot of reasons. Beware of people telling you what you should do versus telling you what they like. All right. Katie, thank you so much. It would have been better if I could share the screen, but we will get there, people. We will get there. um, let's see. Oh wow, is she up to 108? That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah. So her defense fund is at 108 now, and Mazza is having a fundraiser, his fundraiser tomorrow at 4 p.m. At his house, Mazza Media. So please come support that. I will be on with a few other people as well. I think Baker mentioned he will probably join for a little bit before he has to get some sleep before it gets too incredibly late there in Denmark. So please come by and let's see if we can't get that up higher than that. She is going to need all the help she can get with, she has 2 attorneys right now in just her criminal case, and she has a family law attorney who is excellent as well, but also very pricey. These attorneys are worth every penny, and she will have to deal with the custody issues for a long time. The criminal matter could be settled within a couple weeks when the trial is done. Hopefully, knock on wood. I think that that's exactly what's going to happen, and she's going to walk out of there. But the family court matter will continue on, until he is 18, unfortunately. But so she can definitely use the support, and all of that is extremely expensive, and she is not employed right now. So it is very, very appreciated by her and her family. And it's a great morale booster for them as well, knowing that they have the support of the community and everyone's prayers and all of that. So it goes very far. Whoever's saying that they think Justin's a type who might convince a jury of his BS like he has with so many other people. So I think the bench trial will be wise. That is one way. I personally think Justin's going to come off terrible on the stand, but given maybe in a different setting, I think he's used to telling people exactly what they want to hear, and probably a master manipulator. So I completely get what you're saying. All right. My boy called me BB is saying that they like carp. Yeah, so far so good. Tammy saying that she's with me on the fence. I don't trust the judges. Judges seem it's K about something illegal. Yeah, it's hard, right? Like, it's hard to trust after the things that we've seen with the judges and the corruptness. I just don't know. I trust Bradel, so whatever he decides. But too high of a possibility jury members have been touched by DV, divorce, etc., in a way that could hurt Kelsey. Bench trial is the way. A lot of people feel in the bench trial. Yeah, women don't always stand up for women, though, right? Those are the type of women we want in our lives that do stand up behind other powerful, strong women. You want another powerful, strong woman having your back. But it can sometimes be the opposite with women, but there are good ones out there, that support and all that other, strong, independent women. So let's see. Noonan isn't credible anymore. I agree. And you know who else agrees is the grand jury. They agreed with that as well because they didn't believe his story. She wasn't charged with attempted murder, and this is the only charge that they charged her with. And you know, it's so easy to get that initial indictment. If there's anything there, they can charge you. So that says they did not trust him. So he will be one to watch in the trial for sure. Mad saying, in my opinion, Justin is way too selfish to care for baby. I don't detect any lies there either. You know, he hasn't really showed much for anyone to think anything other than that. Okay. I am just saying, if he got a decent lawyer, they want him discussing much on a criminal trial. Yeah, no, he would be an idiot to talk much because he is potentially going to be screwing himself over. So, but hey, we can dream. We can dream that he gets up there and talks and sings like a canary, right? Most of the time, you respond to medical calls in the fire department, even here in California where there is lots of fires. Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's see. Massachusetts is crazy. It's a crazy world. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah. Um, Thank you, Lauren. I'm excited to see where your channel goes. Thank you. Thank you. We will see. We will see. That's true, Jess. I think that if he's going to testify a bunch of trial makes more sense because I have the feeling he would play the hero victim card because he seems like that kind of narcissist. Yep, no doubt. No doubt. All right. Then sends the rights away. Yeah, it'll be interesting, but you know what? Trial's coming up. I am going to be there for trial, so I'm very excited about that. I have to like be fully in a case to like really get invested in and cover it and want to like talk about it and stuff. And this one, I am fully invested in, so I am excited to go up there and support Kelsey and watch her hopefully walk out of that courtroom, completely exonerated. So I really think that that is what is going to happen. And hopefully she'll be out of this and can put this horrific chapter of her life behind her, and she will be so much stronger after this. So I think she has nothing but good things coming, and yeah, it's just things are looking up for her. So, well, I don't have anything else unless you guys have anything that you would like to discuss. Thank you for joining and coming and hanging out with me. I know we didn't do anything crazy, but we kind of just talked about the case and went over her affidavit. But I had a good time. Thanks so much for everyone. Just again, Maza is going to have his fundraiser tomorrow at 4 p.m. on his channel, Maza Media. So make sure to come over, say hello, hang out. There's always good content on his shows, on the fundraisers, and just a lot of people who are passionate about it talking about it. And the chat's always great too. It's a good time in the chat there as well. But yeah, we will no doubt dive into some of the videos more over there and some of the latest, I'm sure. So come on over tomorrow at 4 p.m. And if you're able, donate to Kelsey. The link is also in the chat, pinned at the chat above. Nothing is too small. Everything adds up and everything matters. Everything counts. So you guys are also generous and just the most amazing community. So thank you for all the support that you've shown for her so far. And no doubt we'll continue to show for her as well as we get closer to trial. Sue, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for coming and hang out. Yes, if you're not subbed, please go sub. It will really help the channel and like the video and all of that good stuff. So thank you to Jess for being here and having my back always. All right, guys. Well, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow on Maz's show for the fundraiser. And we'll try to raise some funds for Kelsey and support her as much as we can. Bye, Goodmans. I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for coming over. Thank you, everyone. Everyone is so kind and sweet. All right, you guys. I love you guys. Good night. Enjoy your night. Get some self-care. Self-care is, we always need self-care. We always do. So make sure you're getting that self-care in for yourself. And some of these cases are heavy. So take care of yourself as well. And I will see you guys tomorrow at Maz's house for Kelsey's fundraiser. Good night, guys.